everybody, it's Catherine from Dryer Days Art Studio. Thanks for being with me. Today I wanted to do a video on what I find essential to bring to art shows or vendor shows, especially the outside craft and vendor shows that are very, very popular this time of year. Just wanted to give a couple tips on some things I've picked up along the way, and you can do things however you want. I just thought I'd present the way I do it, maybe give somebody out there a new idea, especially I know there's a lot of people doing shows for the first time, asking me questions about how I send paintings home with people, how do I hang things, etc. So here are the things I find essential at shows. First, I want to start with how I do package up the paintings when I sell one, because that has been a big question in the Facebook group. And again, as usual, everything that I'm showing you here, I will have links for you to find this stuff in the description, so you can click right on the links and go to buy them. I did find these bags on Amazon. They are 16 by 12, 6 inches wide. Open it up here and show you. Hope I'm getting it in the camera. And they're nice. They have little handles. So if you've ever moved and you've had movers come out, you know they use a lot of this paper. And these are basically smaller sheets than what those movers use. I take one sheet of paper, and my husband and sister were helping me do this at the show, which was awesome because I was able to talk to the client or the customer that was standing there while my husband and sister helped me package this stuff up. And I do encourage that. Bring a friend, bring your boyfriend, your sister, your girlfriend, mom, whatever, because it's a lot of work setting up for these shows. You're gonna have a lot of traffic. Even just the extra eyes was helpful. Come in, set the painting face down, and you just kind of wrap it up however you'd like. And then I bought this tape with kind of nice little words on it, just a little bit more decorative than standard tape. And then it goes nicely in your bag, and they have something nice to carry it around with. These were the largest bags that I could find, and I looked a lot online. I do have bigger paintings than this. I do have a lot of 12 by 12s. I have a lot of 12-inch rounds, so this bag works for that. But I know even if you can at least wrap it up in something like this, I think the client definitely appreciates that than if you just kind of hand them this painting and they walk off with it. Okay, so now I'm going to go through a couple other things that I use that, again, it's going to depend on how your setup is in your tent. I will show you the video that my sister took of my show. And what I do is I have two larger craft tables. They're about 7 inches long. One I did get from Walmart, but I did find a couple on Amazon, and I'll list the links to those in the description. And I take a black flat sheet and cover the tables. And what I do to hang my stuff in the tent is, I'll show again this in the video, but I bought just like fencing, garden fencing at, I believe it was Lowe's, and they're wire. They're a little heavy, not too heavy. I can carry them, my husband can carry them. And then what we do is we zip tie them to the actual frame of the tent. And they stay fine, they've never taken a tent down or anything. Then I use S-hooks, and there's a variation of sizes out there. We were using these small ones, but they can get really hard trying to hang and stay on the painting depending on where your hanging device is on the painting. So I did get some bigger ones, and they've been a big help. This is about 1 inch, and this is about 3 inches. So I'll show you here on this painting that I was just showing you. We use these triangle hooks. My husband helps me put these in. He does drill them in. So going along with that, what I would recommend too is however you hang your paintings, bring extra. Because I don't have hanging mechanisms on all my paintings. You know, I know a lot of people do. I used to cover them in brown paper. My mom would help me, and we'd wire them nicely. And I do that with some of them, but people can hang them right on the frame of the canvas. You know, they can put 2 nails in the wall and hang the canvas from that. But for me at shows, so that people can see my artwork, while I do have the tables and I lay down a lot of work there, I do like to hang stuff so people, you know, it catches their eye as they walk by. And so this one we actually did mount and hang the day of the show. So thankfully I had extra. There's nails in here and everything. My husband brought his tools, and we were able to get this hung so that I could hang it up right there at the show. So, and then what I do is just obviously put the hook in, and then it can be hung. And if you bring extra stuff with you, you have extra hooks, then you're not running into an emergency type situation right there at the craft show. I will show too real quick while I have the painting here. I do have it labeled. I like everything to look nice, neat, and concise. So I had a table where I had a majority of just these 12-inch by 12-inch canvases kind of sitting right next to each other. So I put the price tag in the same lower right-hand corner of every single one. So as they came up, they could see the price. I'm going to tell you guys, I've done this before where I have had no prices on them, and I've done it before where I've had prices on them. I definitely got more questions when there weren't prices. People would come ask me about it and ask how much it was, and it would kind of engage a conversation more. I find now people will just kind of glance, and I will tell you too that I price these. You can see this is $40 US that I price this. I will literally lower my prices at shows anywhere from 20 to 50%. I find people at shows or craft or vendor things are tending to not want to spend hundreds of dollars. This I would list in my, I think I have this listed in my store for 50 or 55, and as you can see here, I have it listed for 40. And then what I do is I have been signing my name on the, what I consider the right side of the canvas. So if, you know, this is how I would hang this painting. So I'm going to turn it to the right and sign it there. The reason I do that is because, you know, let's say I like the painting this way and I sign it down here, and the person who buys it wants to hang it like this. So now my signature is upside down and in the top corner. And so I just go ahead and I sign all of them on the side. That way my signature is on there somewhere. Now, when I'm at a show and someone buys something from me personally, a lot of times they'll say, well, where's your signature? And I'll show them, okay, it's over here, and then you can hang this however you want. And if they say, well, I'm going to hang it this way, I want you to sign it, then I bring my extra silver Sharpie with me and I sign it where they want it. And I always kind of offer that to people too that are buying a piece, because when people buy a piece of original art, they want the signature. They want to show it off. They want people to know they have original artwork. So that would be my other tip, is to make sure you're bringing markers. I bring black ones too, so that I can have them for price tags. So always bring multiple sheets of labels, because these little guys will blow off. They will come off in the totes that you're carrying the paintings in. Or, you know, this, people might keep looking at this painting, but nobody's buying it. And I'll think, well, all right, you know what? I'm going to take that 40 off and I'm going to list it at 30, because I know people want this, but maybe they just don't want to spend the 40 bucks. And then that way you have extra labels to do that with, and you have your markers to do that with. Couple extra things that I bring. I always make sure I have tape. You never know, you just might need some tape. I always bring scissors, have scissors with me. I always bring my business cards and something to hold them in. And I'll also kind of like scatter my business cards just around on the table in between paintings. That way, as people are looking at art on the tables, they're kind of seeing your name in there, the artist. I always do also bring a notebook and a pen, and whenever I sell something, I write down what I sell. That way I'm keeping track of things. I do have a square for people to swipe their credit cards, and I have a PayPal account, and I use a lot of PayPal, and I'm thinking about getting the PayPal swiper. So if anybody out there uses the PayPal one, please let me know how you like it. But a lot of people pay cash at these shows, and so this way you can keep track. You know, so again, if somebody bought this one, what I would do is take the price tag off. I'd open up my notebook. I would stick the 40 in there, and then I'd write in pink and teal geode painting. That way I know which one it was, and especially this one I have listed in my online store. Well, now that I've sold it at the show, I got to remember to take it out of my store. These are little stands to display your art. This black one is a little bit better quality. It's sturdier, and so you can see you can set some art on that while you have other artwork out in front. These are a little flimsier. They came in a pack, so they're a little cheaper, and you can get a bunch of them. And I mean, they do the job decently well, and if they're getting kind of flimsy, you know, you can just like kind of pinch the sides together and make it more sturdy. But I will say, on a windy day, they may not hold up so well, and I joke that I always get the windiest days of the year for my art shows somehow. I've never brought jewelry to a show before. This was the first time I brought my my rings and my necklaces, and so I went onto Amazon and got a tree because I wanted to have some on display. And then this is a decorative tray. I just took some black construction paper from my kids' craft stuff, taped it down, and then I had the tree kind of in the corner there. So I had necklaces hanging from there, and then I had necklaces laying out, and this has a nice little area for rings that I had in there. And then what I did was my sister, who does beautiful hand lettering, and I just propped it up right near this at the table. And again, I think my necklaces in my store I have listed for 16. Some of them I have for 20, but again, at the shows, I do mark my stuff down. But this way, that's sitting right there. Everybody knows. I don't have to be telling everybody. I didn't have to price every single one of the necklaces. And so I really appreciate my sister helping me out with that. And I had just a bunch of these little cheapy frames laying around. Again, I think I got this at Walmart years ago for maybe like less than $5. I really hope that this video helped and gave you some ideas on things that you can do if you have shows this year. Another thing, remember to bring chairs. I brought 2 chairs for my husband and my sister, but yeah, make sure you bring chairs, water, and sunscreen. Good luck to all of you out there. Happy art, craft, vendor show season, and I wish you all the best. Thanks so much, guys, and keep on pouring.